now we're at the time where the Hamashiach is getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
God.
All right. Shabbat shalom, Yasharel. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Yasharallah. Shabbat shalom. Give us a 1 in the comment boards if y'all can hear us loud and clear through the mic. Let's get it.
All right. So, hey, I pray that you all are having a blessed Shabbat. Know I am. Most favorite day, my favorite day of the week. And it is the most sacred day of the week because it is 3 things that the Most High did to this day that he did no other day. And that sanctified it, blessed it, and he made it holy.
That's right. Bring it out.
Something that we should always come to honor. You know, no work, no buying and selling, no stress. This is the time to come together to the Most High. No worldly cares. Everything's supposed to be directed towards the Most High, Israel. This is our day, all right? We're not supposed to be carrying no burdens on the Shabbat. You shouldn't be worried about, your job or anything like that. Let that stuff go.
That's right.
Let that stuff go. Meditate on these laws, commandments, and statutes. Meditate on the scriptures. So Israel, we got something special. We wanted to do something a little different and everything. Goddesses of the Bible. And we're going to just show you some things. We're going to show you. You might be a little surprised because, a lot of times our people always had a bad habit of worshiping other gods.
God.
All right. So that's something that we have a big problem with. But before we go anywhere, though, I just thought about a scripture I wanted to share. But before, I wanted to share the first 2 commandments and just kind of go over that because it seems like that's the main thing that our people keep, for some reason, they just keep falling in line to that wickedness. Right?
God, that's right. Bring
and
it out.
And it's like those first 2 commandments are always a doozy for our people. I don't know what it is about that, but it's always a doozy for our people. So let's go to Exodus chapter 20.
God.
All right.
All right. Con, I got a scripture too that's dealing with that too. I want to bring out in 34.
Yep. Exodus chapter 20, and we're gonna just read. I'll read 3 and 4. All right. It says, I'll read a little further. It says, "You shall have no other gods or Elohim before me." What do you think that's talking about, Israel? Anything that is not of the Most High. All right. You shall not have no other Elohims before you.
That's right.
Right. You shall not make unto you any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. So you got these camps out here. They got, what's the old boys? IUIC. They got Nate Boy as the Hamashiach. They got his face. They did a new painting of him to represent the Hamashiach. Stuff is wicked. When I first saw that stuff. All right, verse 5. You shall not bow down yourselves to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh, am a jealous El, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. All right, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and guard my commandments.
God.
I wanted to start off with this because, it's so important to be reminded of the Most High's severe jealousy of us serving other gods. That's a serious crime, Israel. And this is why we're in the situation that we're in now. This is why we keep getting our backs beat in, keep getting our head beat in, because our people want to continue to serve these holidays and worship women as gods and all kinds of stuff. All right, so we're gonna have to keep showing you. Like every time our people did that, they were destroyed. They went into captivity, just like we're in captivity today.
That's right.
All right. Yeah, brother.
Yeah, let me I got another one, right? It's pretty much the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all right. Let's go ahead and turn to Exodus chapter 34, and we're gonna read 12 through 17, right? Because this is a lot of things. And I wanted Brother Daniel and myself, we wanted to make this known in the beginning so we understand that, where our people go wrong at, right? Doing all this wicked stuff right here. And this is the first thing that causes us to go wrong. Now the scriptures say, starting in verse 12, it says, "Take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land whither thou goest, lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee." Right? "But ye shall destroy their altars, break their images, and cut down their groves. For thou shalt worship no other God, for the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God." Right? So what does that mean, right? We're not supposed to be frequenting these Christian churches, right? Where they got these false alt, you know what I'm saying? These molten images that are up of a so-called heathen looking Hamashiach, right? You're not even supposed to make any kind of anything resembling the things of the heavens above, right? You're not supposed to be doing any of that, man. They got the fake Hamashiach, hanging on a, hanging on the cross with a thing of thorns across his head, like the real Hamashiach did, right? And that's just wicked as hell. Yeah. It says, "Lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land," because that's what we're doing, right? "And they go a whoring after their gods." Like we got some of our people who are Buddhists, right? Islam, right? "And do sacrifice unto their gods, and one call thee, and thou eat of his sacrifice," right? "And thou take of their daughters unto thy sons, and their daughters go a whoring after their gods, and make thy sons go a whoring after their gods. Thou shalt make thee no molten gods," period, right? Any statues or anything like that, of anything that's resembling things that are dead, right? That's going to die on the earth, right? Because we serve the living God. All right, go ahead, Doc.
I'm going to show you, and you made me think of something. I want to bring out one more. Deuteronomy 7:25. I can see that on the screen or not, but Deuteronomy 7:25. All right, it tells us what we need to do, especially for you brothers, sisters that are waking up in this truth. And if you have like any kind of holiday ornaments, like Christmas trees, anything that's dealing with all these holidays, this is what you need to do. All right. Deuteronomy 7:25, it says, "The graven images of their Elohims, their gods, shall you burn with fire. You shall not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto you, lest ye be snared therein, for it is an abomination unto Yahweh. Neither shall you bring an abomination into your house." You got all these little, these little heads, and people like to, especially our people like to bring in, I call them little nigglets. They like to sit on their tables and stuff.
I know you're talking about, them little
little
statues,
African dudes and stuff.
Yeah. The little hammies,
little nigglets and all kind of bracelets and all kinds of stuff put in your house. And you don't know what kind of spirits you're releasing. It says, "Neither shall you bring an abomination into your house, lest ye be a cursed thing like it. But ye shall utterly detest it, and ye shall utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing." So don't give this stuff to your people. Now give it to the heathens, but you should do what the scripture says to burn it. You should take it in the pit somewhere and burn the hell out of it. All right, that's what you got to do. All right. So with that being said and everything, I wanted to really bring that out to brothers and sisters. So I got a little something wanted to share with y'all. Now, me and Brother Aton, we can kind of go over some things, kind of give you a background of what they call the goddess Asherah. All right, it's not no goddess of Israel. All right, so let's get that. You see the screen up?
I can see it.
Make it bigger. All right. And Brother Aton has some stuff that he's going to bring out as well. And then we got some scriptures we're going to bring out as well concerning how people are just, constantly messing around with these gods and everything. So Asherah, which is a Canaanite goddess. All right. I mean, this stuff goes all the way back to Egypt, Israel. And this is why
exactly where it goes back to.
What's that?
That's exactly where this is going back to.
Goes all the way back to Egypt. Because what's his name? Nimrod, he started going off. The scriptures say he was a mighty hunter for the Most High, but he began to go off and everything, and he started adapting a lot of these rituals, these gods, and all that kind of stuff. And that's what he spoke to brothers, Y'all know these Egyptologists. That's where they get all this stuff from, and that's why like they'll push like black woman is God and all that kind of nonsense. But we're here to squash all that stuff because nothing can be further from the truth. All right. I won't read all of this unless Brother Aton, you got something you want to bring out on this because I guess.
Well, you know what? Well, before we actually, let's just show. Let's go to 1 Kings first, 11, and then let's read a couple of scriptures. Dealing with Asherah, so they can see. Well, never mind. You know what I'm saying? Let's. Okay.
I just kind of get the background.
Okay, Khan.
And we'll hit the scriptures. So I'm not gonna read all of it. It says Canaanite goddess, possibly the deliberate corruption of the name Esteret is meant to conform to the vocalization of the Hebrew word Boshet or shame. All right, Asherah is a preeminent goddess in the Bible, and the plural Asherah is a generic term for goddess. All right, used together with Baal as a collective term for illicit worship. All right. So you can read on, you can kind of see where we're going with this and everything. Just wanted to lay a background. This is something that you can really just dig down and do your research on this for yourself and everything. But we definitely got some scriptures kind of go along with that. And brother, you want to go ahead and bring out some scriptures. So what I'll do too, if you got scriptures, I'm not going to bring up the scripture. I'll have you bring up the scriptures so that way I'll have to keep like switching back from the screens and stuff.
Okay, that'll work. Let's go to 1 Kings 11.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, because like I think that the following, right, you can see where King Solomon went off, right, by following, because this is she practices sexual immorality, right? You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of wickedness and that nature, and we know that Solomon got in trouble because he had 1,000 wives. It wasn't the 700 Hebrew wives that he got in trouble for, right? But it was the 300 heathen wives, right? Mm-hmm. That the Most High was not down with him having, right? Let me go Slakia. Yeah, man. Let me go to 1 Kings 11. Yeah, chapter 11, Slakia. Right. All right. And then right, I want you to see how the women worked of the other nations, right? How they worked on Solomon, right? This is just crazy how they were able to get him, not when he was in his youth, but they came at him when he was an old man up in his years, right? To try to convince him to continue with this wickedness. And it says, this is 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 4. And it read, "For it came to pass when Solomon was old," right, "that his wives turned away his heart after other gods. And his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as it was the heart of David his father. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians," right? "And after Milcom, the abomination of the Amorites," right? Now, notice, right, after all of that, the scriptures made sure to point out Ashtoreth first, mm-hmm. right? Because Asherah is not alive. That's a dead god. And not only that, but that's a woman as well. Mm-hmm. It says explicitly in the scriptures that man was first formed and then the woman, right? So you're not supposed to make something that was created in an image of a helpmeet to be your goddess, right? To be something that's above you.
You see how Satan, you see how Satan does it. What he's done, he's kind of flipped it where he's now, the woman is being worshipped as a goddess. You're not going to show me anywhere in the Torah where some old funky woman was supposed to be worshipped as a god.
Hey, you know what? I wanted to show. Let me show Israel something real quick before we go back to those scriptures, right?
Yeah.
And these heathen know what time it is, right? And these heathen know that Israel had a rough time with that, back in the day, right? Let me get hold up. Let me see something. Let me get this. Right? And they'll put stuff right before your face, right? It's lucky. Can y'all see that, Israel? Right? That right there is Beyonce, right? And they dressed her up as the goddess of as the goddess Ashtoreth. Say that's in the scripture. See, Ashtoreth, the kindled flame or whatever. What does that read? Yeah, the kindled flame blog, right? But they dressed this woman up as Ashtoreth. Not only that, but she's pregnant, right? because that was the god of sexual immorality, fertility, and all that other stuff. Hold up. Let's you want to go back to that to that wiki and read that? If not, I can go to the Hebrew too and break it out.
Right here, for Ezra? Right.
Yeah, Khan. The female deity of the Phoenicians, right?
Yep.
Which are Africans, right? Which are the modern day Africans, right? Those are Hamites, right? And things of that nature. And see, they know to put that on our people. Just imagine this, right? The same situation that we're going today, the old Hotep, the sea moss gold, the woman is God, all of that stuff that they get from Egypt, right? Because if you look for the Egyptians of antiquity, those were the Hamites.
Yeah,
they pushed that same doctrine.
And this is why the Greeks, adapted a lot of that stuff. If you look at the Greek culture, they adopted a lot of the feminism that you see today. And technically, the Greeks, if I'm not mistaken, they were like the one. Well, no, besides Egypt, but Greeks was one of the main ones too that really pushed feminism to a degree where they actually worship female deities. All right. And this is important to know because, again, this is not the way that the Most High, works. He's always dealt with the men. All right. Again, you have the enemy, fallen angels. They're going to do everything they can to try to, smear the Most High's name. All right. But that's not going to happen. All right, brother.
Oh, okay, Khan. Matter of fact, here, let me bring this out. It's lock here, right? Let's go back to all right, let's finish these scriptures up, right? It's lock here. All right. So it says, for Solomon went after Asherah, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Amorites, which is another man, right? And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord and went not fully after the Lord as David his father, right? Now remember, David his father couldn't build the temple because he had so much blood on his hands for killing up all those damn heathen, right? Now here we go, right? Now David's heart was after the Most High's, which means that what? The Most High was down with him, right? Killing up all those wicked ass heathen, because that's what had to go down at that time. It is going to happen again when the God sent comforter, right? When Hamashiach returns back on the earth, right? So we have Asherah, the goddess here, right? And it's talking about a lot of sexual immorality, right? Let's see. Let me first I want to get it in the Greek. Let me see. Let me lock Israel. I wish we can just have all this stuff as like tabs so you can just immediately go to it.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, this program doesn't have all that.
Time, right? Okay, right. So, right now, remember that we saw Beyonce that she was pregnant a few minutes ago, right? In that picture. So right here, right. This is the same thing in the Hebrew. We see what Asherah, right? Asherah, right? It's the same one. Let's see.
Strong's H6253. Ashtoreth.
Oh.
Ashtoreth.
Ashtoreth. All right, Ashtoreth. All right, that's the woman right there, and it says the maid. It means star, right? The principal female deity of the Phoenicians worshipped in war and fertility. Two things that women should not be. One thing is war, right? We don't want. What is that doing right now? We're having a war against our own people. We're having a war between both of the genders, right? And infertility, which means that what if you're having fertility, right? Not like the god of Diana, which or Artemis, which preached that what is it, a chastity, right? But this woman right here, and she was the wife of Baal, right? This was supposed to be the one of the consorts of the god Baal, right? Which our people got constantly rebuked for, right? Because they were doing what? They were burning babies, right? Bringing them through the star. Bringing them through Molech and doing all that wickedness, right?
Walking on coals of fires and all that.
All this stuff is wicked as hell, right? It's just ridiculous, right? Probably H21 Asherah, the Phoenician goddess of love, right? And increase, right? You're only supposed to love your husband, and your
Yeah.
children.
And
right?
this is where that Valentine's come. You like, you guys need to study this stuff. Like, you remember that Cupid where they show that old fat little white baby with a bow and arrow shooting people in the butt and everything. That's where that stuff comes
That's
from.
wicked as hell. Hawk.
What's that?
That's wicked as hell, man.
I know. It's crazy.
All right. So let's start, right? Astarte, right, or Asterisk, like we saw earlier, right, is a Hellenized form, and it says Greek, a independent branch of the Indo-European family of languages native to Greece, Cyprus, Italy, southern Albania, and other regions of the Balkans and the Black Sea coast, Asia Minor, and the Eastern Mediterranean. It has the longest documented history of any Indo-European, right? So it says it's Hellenized form of the ancient Near Eastern goddess, right? Astarte, the Northwest Semitic, which we saw that was in the scripture, equivalent to the East Semitic goddess Ishtar, right? Astarte was worshipped from the Bronze Age to the classical antiquity, and her name was particularly associated with her worship in the ancient, Levant is an approximate historical geographical term referring to the large area in the Eastern Mediterranean region of the Western Asia, right? Among the Canaanites, right, who are Africans, right, and the Phoenicians, which are located in the same space that we see right there in Africa, right? Though she was originally associated with the Amorite cities and the Ugarit and the Amar, as well as the Mari and the Elba, she was also separated in Egypt, especially during the reign of Ramessides, right? Ramessides, following the importation of foreign cultures here. Phoenicians introduced her cult in their colonies on the Iberian Peninsula. Wow. Hey, you know what's crazy about that, right? Who came from the Iberian Peninsula and called themselves Jewish people? Right? Yep. It says the Proto-Semitic form of the goddess's name was Atart, while earlier scholarship suggested that the name Atart was formed by adding Afro-Asiatic feminine suffix T to the name of the deity, Atar. With more views accepted names Atar and Atart as being etymology related, while considering the extract relationship between them to be unclear. The meaning of the names Atar and Atart themselves is still unclear. Wow. All right. And the Masoretic text vocalization Asorets is in dispute. Most scholars consider it to be an artificial superimposition of the vowels of the Hebrew word boset, means shame, just like we read earlier what Brother Daniel was talking about, right? Which means shame, and the consonants of the original name. Some others suggest that the result of the Canaanite shift from the the Canaanite shift, or with an assumption from an earlier form, right? Let me see. Let me see here. I wanted to bring up something.
And after he gets done with that, we got plenty more scriptures to show you in relation to Asherah and our people.
Yeah. Okay. Here it is. Right. The iconographic portrayal of Arsa is very similar to that of Tanit, right? Often depicts her naked and in the presence. Like, this is the kind of that's the kind of stuff that we don't want to see, right? You have a so-called God that's made out of stone that does not breathe or anything like that, that it talks about in Wisdom of Solomon, right? And it says, in the presence of lions, identified respectively with the symbols of sexuality and war, right? That's the same thing that our people have been plagued with ever since we came over here, right? We're always plagued with this particular situation, right? Sexuality and war, trying to put the woman above the man. It looks like that this stuff has been going on, right? Ever since the old days, all the way up even into the New Testament, when you come up with Artemis, or the god Diana, right? It says she is also depicted as winged, carrying a solar disc and crescent moon as a headdress, and with her lions either lying prostrate on her feet or directly under those. Aside from the lions, she is associated to the dove and the bee. She has also been associated with the botanic wildlife and the palm tree and the lotus flower. All right.
And this is why, you know, it's important to pay attention to symbols and all kinds of stuff that's in relation to these so-called deities, so-called goddess deities. Now, if you want to further educate yourself, all right, There's books. I'm just showing you a few on here. There's books that you can educate yourself that talks about the origins of these deities, so that you won't be deceived. Because a lot of times, oftentimes we see like a symbol or something like that, or we see something, and like for example, like the fish. You see that symbol of the fish that Christians use, or even the symbol of the cross and things like that. That's stuff that you need to pay attention to, because a lot of our people ignorantly, put that stuff in their homes, not even knowing where it comes from. And a lot of it derives from these feminist deities and what have you. And that's why when Solomon, when he started getting with all them heathen women and all that kind of craziness and stuff, trying to be political, it wouldn't work out. And brought the kingdom down, and because of him and his descendants after him, the kingdom split to the point where they're trying to put a damn manager on the throne. The kingdom split. So, all right, brother, bring out them scriptures.
Go on, right? So one more scripture dealing with that, right? It says, because they have forsaken me and have worshipped Asherah, the goddess of the Zidonians, Shemos. So notice he always puts that first, right? That must have just, I mean, man, you could see why our people are constantly getting killed in the street, right? Constantly was back in those days where the Most High had to continuously rain down plagues and captivity on our people because they just won't listen, right? Doing all kinds of wicked stuff. I mean, like, man, that's a slap in the face when Exodus says the God is a man of war. Now they got all of a sudden a woman of war right here that they're worshiping, right? Something that's not even alive, as the scriptures say, right?
And you can see why. You can see why the Most High bade us not to be like the other nations. This is why he said that in Deuteronomy 7:6, that ye are a set apart people, you are a holy people above all nations. Why? Because you look at what all these nations were doing. They were, they were savages. They were doing all kinds of stuff, letting women run the house, run everything, and doing anything they wanted to do. And like Brother Eitan said, that's why our people just kept going into captivity, because man, we're trying to be like the other nations. We didn't want the laws of the Most High. We want to be like the other nations. We wanted to cast down a perfect thing and just totally go to something that is totally foreign to our people. And look at us today. Right?
Let's go on Wisdom of Solomon, WOS chapter 15, right? It says, for as much as he knew not his maker, and him that inspired into him an active soul and breathed in a living spirit, but they counted our life as a pastime, and our time here a market for gain, right? For say they, we must be getting every way, though it be evil means. For this man that of our earthly matter maketh brittle vessels and graven images, knoweth himself to offend above all others. Right? What is this song? What is this talking about? Right? It's these folks that get these ideas, right, to try to make a god. Right? They're trying to make something, right, that you shouldn't be making, right? In their pastime, something they want to do, all for what? For filthy lucre.
Yep.
That's where all these gods even originated for in the first place, is for somebody to get money from someone. Oh, Khan, right? It says, for all the enemies, right, and all the enemies of thy people that hold them in subjection are most foolish and are miserable and are more miserable than very babes. For they counted all the idols of the heathens to be gods, which neither have the use of eyes to see, nor the noses to draw breath, nor ears to hear, nor fingers of hands to handle. And as for their feet, they are slow to go. For man made them, and he that borrowed his own spirit fashioned them. You see that? It says he that borrowed his own spirit. That means the Most High put the spirit in you, the energy in you, right? But no man can make a god like unto himself. For being mortal, he worketh a dead thing with wicked hands, for he himself is better than the things which he worshipped. Whereas he lived once, but they never. Right? The Most High says those dead images, those false gods that these folks are making, right? the very man that made them are better than the so-called gods, because they never lived. But that man himself, he did live through the soul and the spirit of the Most High that he borrowed, right? So that's the same thing that our people today, right? It's this worship of false gods.
Mm-hmm.
People that worship Beyonce, people, you know what I'm saying? People that worship any of these so-called moguls or you know, these folks out here that call themselves stars. And man, these folks aren't stars, right? Oh man, hey, remember that we went back and we saw that the Asherah, it meant star,
Mm-hmm.
but they calling themselves stars, right? But the Lord is the true God. He is the living God and an everlasting King. At his wrath, the earth shall tremble, and the nations shall not be able to abide his indignation. There's still stories that's written about when the Most High has sent his son the first time, right? 10 plagues, mixed fire with ice, all kind of just amazing types of destruction that the Most High has set upon those heathen, right? That had our people down in captivity. It's the same thing that's going to happen to these heathen again. They're raising up all these false gods,
Mm-hmm.
right? These goddesses of the scriptures of the Old Testament, man, they're still alive in our life. Right here, we got the whore of Baal,
Yeah.
right in our midst.
You know, and check this out. You can even see it. You can even see it in Hollywood, because look what they're doing with Hollywood. They're bringing back, and this is exactly what they're doing, because these heathens, this is their nature. All right. This is what the Most High told us to stay from. MCU is now MC, because they are pushing this agenda on the whole world. All right, they want the whole world to see. Okay, we still practicing. We're still worshiping our gods. You know, we're gonna put feminism in there. Yet our people, we won't even worship the living Elohim of Israel. Now, that's a damn shame.
Mm.
Yet we'll bow down and we'll celebrate this stuff, and we'll worship the stuff that our heathens, our enemies, are worshiping. But this is what they're putting before our eyes, Israel. This is what they're pushing. They have no shame in their game, all right? They have no shame at all, because these elites, they know their history. They know, I'm telling you, they know this. They got books that you probably won't be able to get access to. You know, dealing with Egyptian gods and all that kind of stuff. They know every single deity from the beginning of time until this present day. And I'm telling you, they are inserting this stuff into the movies. Not just the MCU, but all of it. If you notice that everything is becoming more feministic or deistic, you know, deified for women, because they are pushing out this agenda. All right. Yeah, we got to wake up. Our people got to wake up, Israel. We've been stuck right in this black hole. Eventually, it's going to come to a head.
And you know, Khan, right? One of the main things that it's talking about for money. Hey, did you have a scripture you wanted to bring out?
Yeah, I got several scriptures, but if you got something you're going to bring out, go ahead. Because I got some more scriptures dealing with the
Khan, man, bring that out, because I was gonna deal with Artemis or Diana.
Do me a favor. Can you pull up? I'll just have you pull up the scriptures. Pull up 1 Samuel 31:10.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 4 more I want to go over.
Bring it out, huh?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
All right, 1 Samuel. I just want to show everybody in relation to what they were dealing with this Asherah. 1 Samuel 31:10. And it says, you know what, let me read it. Let me start with 9. It says, and they cut off his head and shipped, verse 8. And it came to pass on the morrow, when the Philistine came to strip the slain, that they found Saul and his 3 sons and fallen in the Mount Gilboa. And they cut off his head and stripped off his armor and sent into the land of the Philistines round about, to publish it in the house of their idols. Man, that's crazy. And amongst the people. And they put his armor in the house of Asherah. Now notice that this was the guys of the Philistines as well too. And they fastened his body to the wall of Bethshan. So I'm just telling you, we know Saul was ended up being wicked because he turned against the Most High and everything. But just wanted to bring this out to you, how our people, still involved with this stuff and everything. It was a disgrace. Man.
I mean, that's crazy, man. It just
Yep. Now check this out. Can you bring up Judges 2:3? Unless you got something you want to bring out on this one.
no, it just continued to say that and when the inhabitants of and Jabes Gilead heard of that which the Philistines had done to Saul, I mean, like, they were so mad about this situation, dealing with that woman, because they know that our God is living God.
Mhm.
All the valiant men arose and went all night and took the body of Saul and the bodies of his sons from the wall of Bethshem and came to Jabesh and burnt them there, right? And they took their bones and buried them under the tree of Gabash and fasted 7 days. Man, the valiant men got up and took revenge and burnt them.
Yeah.
They weren't playing no games with them Hamites, right? Where do you wanted to go, brother?
Judges 2:13.
Con. Oh, okay, I know where we're going.
But that's just to show you that, the other nations, that's what they worship. They had them, the Asherah God, not only Asherah, but other stuff. It's just crazy, Israel. It's why we were told to stay completely away from this stuff. Yeah, Judges 2:13.
Con.
Let's go down a little bit.
Oh, you want to scroll up?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. What's that word? Verse 7. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord and served Balaam. All right. So this is what I want to bring up, because again, our people, every time you had a great leader that come up like Joshua, then all of a sudden, after a while, he passed away. Our people they I don't know, you just go backward. They just forget. They forget, because somewhere down that line, our people start doing wicked. And then in verse 12 it says, and they.
Oh, Slaki. I just want to show them what this is like a picture of an Asherah, right? What they had, like they have this one right here, right? And then they also got that one that's wicked as hell, right? I mean, like, this stuff is just this stuff is just ridiculous, Israel. You know what I mean? They were out there praying to goddesses like this, a statue of some butt naked woman out there, right? That's never drove one breath, and that were the work of the hands of a man. That's just ridiculous.
Verse 12, it says, and they forsook the Lord God of their fathers. Now we know this is talking about Israel for sure, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods, all right, of the gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked the Lord to anger. Oh, and they forsook the Lord and served Baal and Asherah. There it is again. That is 100% proof that our people kept breaking the first and second commandment. And it says, and the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of the spoilers, man, that spoiled them, and he sold them into the house of their enemies round about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies. It sounds just like us, Israel. Right. When we came over here on ships, like it said in Deuteronomy 28:68. That, that's a damn shame, that we have to constantly go through this stuff. And they sitting here worshiping women.
You know what's crazy, right? Baal is that was the killing of our children, right? Yeah. To worship Baal. And it's amazing that we got 20 million Israelites that's been given up to the abortion clinic.
Molech. That's
That's the same damn thing, right? That's ridiculous right there. Yeah. Baal and Asherah together, right? And our people are still going through the same. We got the same unclean spirits on us today, right? The same type of worship, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Because, man, whoever made these false gods, right, that they were doing this stuff too, what they do, they study the wickedness of our people, the stuff that we were easily came into fault with, right? As you see today, we're doing what? We're still bickering amongst one another of stuff that should be natural, right? There should be natural roles of that of the woman and the man. They over there talking about they don't want to have children or raise no baby until they 30, like the Most High didn't make them with breast in the womb. That's crazy, right? That's what you're, you know what I'm saying? That's what you're literally put here to do. That's what your body is designed for, right? If a man's body was designed for having babies, then that's what he'll design for. But his body is designed to till the earth, right? Work and do things like that. While a woman's body is naturally designed, right, to have a child. It shouldn't be, you know, but in this thing, they have the natural birth and the fruit of what the Most High would give our people, and they would sacrifice that stuff, right? Baal is wicked.
You know, the scariest thing I've seen with our people is for them to think and actually believe that by worshiping and serving these holidays, that they are doing good, to only die and to wake up, or you know, for destruction. That is the most scariest thing. All your life to think that, oh well, I was trying to serve Christmas because I wanted to celebrate your birthday. You know, the Most High is not going to excuse repeated ignorance, Israel. All right. So no one's going to be able to say when the judgment comes is, well, I didn't know I was in ignorance. No, because you failed to study. If you failed to study, if you failed to research, and you know, do justice, there's not going to be no excuse, Israel. I don't care if you was living under a rock. Not going to be no excuse.
I want to finish reading. This.
Yeah, and I got another scripture I want to bring up after you finish.
It says, and they forsook the Lord and served Baal and Asherah. Right. Let's see what happened to them. Right. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hand of the spoilers that spoiled them. Oh, Salakia.
Okay, but
wheresoever they went out.
Read it again, though. Read 14 again, because I need to hear it.
Right, and he delivered them into the hands of the spoilers, and that spoiled them, and he sold them into the hands of their enemies. What does that sound like, Israel? Right, round about, so that they could any longer stand before their enemies, whithersoever they went out. The hand of the Lord was against them for evil. What does that sound like? That's exactly the stuff that we're going through today.
Exactly.
Right. As for the Lord has said, as the Lord has sworn unto them, that they were greatly distressed. Nevertheless, oh yeah, well, we don't have any judges, you know, right now. That's all right. That time was past. But we're going through the same thing right now. We're lucky on the grace. If we weren't on the grace, we'll be getting killed right now. All of us would probably be damn dead. It's lucky. Go ahead.
You know, that's why I said the Most High is long suffering. You know, because Israel, but you know that long suffering is running short. Yeah, a lot of our people are just dying left and right. It's gonna get worse. You know, I mentioned this before. I've seen this year has been bad for tornadoes, and I'm telling you, I've seen tornadoes come through and wipe out whole towns. I'm like, man, it's like you're not keeping the laws, and you're not even trying to make an effort to keep these laws, and you just you're just blowing the Most High off and everything. Because I know people. I know that you're sharing the message with your family members and friends and co-workers and stuff like that. And regardless if they listen or not, you know, you planted that seed. And if they choose to continue to ignore, there's not going to be no excuse. Hey, brother, can you bring up 2 Kings 21:7? Oh, my bad. You must have went somewhere. All right. So I'm going to bring up 2 Kings 21:7 right quick, Israel. Give me a second here. Because this is crazy. So if you got your script, if you got your Bibles, go ahead and turn to 2 Kings 21 and verse 7. I'm gonna go ahead and turn there now. All right, 2 Kings 21 and verse 7. All right, let me highlight that. All right, so just bear with me, Israel. So the picture is going to be in front of the scriptures, but I want y'all to focus on the scriptures. Y'all should already be there anyway. All right. So, all right. Let's see here. I thought I had it pulled up. All right, there we go. All right, Israel. So again, my picture is in front of the
Salakia.
So that's okay. That's okay. I'll just pull it up. I'll show how you pull it up.
It was already up there. It was already up there before my thing went off.
Oh, 2 Kings?
Yeah, it's up there right now.
2 Kings 21:7?
That's it, brother.
Okay. All right, good deal. All right, scroll down some. Let me scroll up so I can read. I'm going to read the verse above there. All right. Go back up a little more.
You want to read before 7?
Yeah.
Okay, Con. Okay.
I'm gonna start with verse 1 because I want Israel to really see this stuff. All right. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 55 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Hephzibah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, and after the abomination of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out before the children of Israel. For he built up again the high places which Hezekiah his father had destroyed. You get this, Hezekiah was righteous. He destroyed himself, but he became his son, and he reared up altars for Baal, and made a grove, and did Ahab king of Israel, as did Ahab king of Israel, and worshiped all the host of heaven, and served them. And see, this is what I'm talking about. All through the Torah, you're going to see stuff like this, where people just forsaken the Most High, and then decided to serve the God of the damn heathens. Now think about it. We were on during the reign of King David. We were on top of the world. Why would you want to give up all that? Why would you want to give up something so precious? We're talking about, man, we're talking about the Most High here. We're talking about Yahweh, who has no beginning or end, who has given our people the whole earth. And yet you forsake that. They forsook that to serve other gods. That just blows my mind how people are like that. No wonder we're in the situation we're in right now. And it says, and he built altars in the house of the Lord, of which the Lord said, in Jerusalem will I put my name. And he built altars for all the host of heaven in the 2 courts of the house of the Lord. And he made his son pass through the fire. These are Israelites, y'all, and observed times and used enchantments. Now, I know what that is, like stuff like Ouija boards. What you call them, other stuff that people use for the channel
roots and stuff. And
y'all gotta be careful with these madras. These madras, those hand signals and stuff. You see how people are doing sometimes. Because what you're doing is when you're doing those hand madras, those signals and stuff. What you're doing is you're channeling spirits. All right. Next thing you know, you're doing something like that, and all of a sudden you get a lust demon on you. You don't even know what the hell's going on because you got a lust demon on you all of a sudden. You gotta be careful with that stuff, Israel, because our people are channeling spirits.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Mess around and your private parts get hard for no reason at all, and you're like, what in the world is going on?
Unclean spirit done hopped on you.
Yeah, the spirit done hopped on you. That's why people are so ignorant with this stuff.
Gotta get that thing off.
Verse 6, and it says, he made his son pass through the fire, observed times, and used enchantments, and dealt with familiar spirits and wizards. And we already know this. We read Deuteronomy 18, it talks about that stuff. He wrought much wickedness in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. I'm like, every time I read this, I'm like, man, like how can our people go from keeping the laws, righteousness, to obeying or worshiping the gods of the heathens that have no power, have no smell, no taste? Like, how do you brother? I don't know. How do you fathom that, brother? How do you fathom our people, man, just leaving a living Elohim, man, and going to some mess like that?
And then the messed up thing about it, the first commandment, it says he's a jealous God. He lets you know that his name also means jealous. You know what I mean? Like, he don't want you. And then our people go back, and then not only do they worship other gods, but they have the nerve to worship a woman god. You know what I'm saying, man? That's wicked as hell, man.
Now check this out. Verse 7, and he set a graven image. He set a graven image. That's the very thing the Most High told us not to do. He set and he set a graven image on the grove that he had made in the house, of which the Lord said to David and to Solomon his son, in the house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, I will put my name in forever. Man, I mean, that's crazy. Neither will I make the feet of Israel move anymore of the land which I gave their fathers, only if they will observe to do according to all that I have commanded them, and according to all the law that my servant Moses commanded them. Man, but they hearkened not, and Manasseh seduced them to do more evil. Man, seduced them. That's a hard verb right there. Seduce me. Yeah, no, he probably used tactics. He probably was killing people to get them, to seduce them to do more evil than did the nations whom the Lord destroyed before the children of Israel. Dang.
What?
This is okay. Let me read this again. It says, but they hearkened not, and Manasseh seduced them to do more evil than did the nations whom the Lord destroyed before them, before the children of Israel. So in other words, the heathens were more righteous.
That's crazy, people. Man.
Hey,
but you know what though? That's also a testament on the low of not only how upset the Most High is with us, but how much he loves us too. Because we literally genocided nations, like a bunch of nations. We straight up just killed all of them. None of them left, and took their women. That is absolutely crazy. And then the Most High, he didn't kill us. We were more wicked than the people that we committed genocide on, and the Most High still let us live. This is why we getting the stuff that's happening to us.
That's just like us now, man. You know, and of course, you know, we don't care about no heathens, man. But you know, it's like the Most High has put them in place to make us jealous, because we have, you know, when you look at these heathens and you see how they're living in nice houses and how, you know, their mannerism and all that kind of stuff, and you look at our people, man, it's like they do more wicked than their damn enemies, especially when it comes to the holidays and stuff. I ain't gonna lie, man. I saw someone at my contract is. I saw, dude, this was a brother, man. I was so ashamed, man, to say something. But this brother, man, it was during this holiday where people were dressing up like Christmas ornaments. This dude was dressed up like a wrapped gift. He had one of them big old bowl. He was like, he was a box. He was walking around with a big old bow in his belly, in his shirt. I'm like, man, I couldn't do nothing but just top my head in shame. You know, our people, they do the most when it comes to this stuff. They outdo the heathens, and it's a damn shame when our people outdo the heathens in wickedness.
God, man, that stuff is just
that's just mind blowing, man. We've got another scripture I want to bring up. Deuteronomy. Can you bring up Deuteronomy 16:21? Deuteronomy 16:21. This is just small glimpses of Israel, what our people are just into. All right. We'll read Deuteronomy 16:21.
All right, we up there. Let me highlight it for you. Put us a yellow, green. Oh, I thought that looked green. That's not yellow on my screen. All right.
All right. So also verse 20 says, "That which is altogether just shalt thou follow, that thou mayest live and inherit the land which the Lord thy God give thee. Thou shalt not plant thee a grove." Have we read that before? Grove, any trees near unto the altar of the Lord thy God, which thou shalt make thee. All right. Scroll up a little bit.
No, that's as far. It only goes to 22, I believe. Yeah.
Neither shalt thou set up any images which the Lord thy God. So remember we talked about Asherah and they talked about the grove and all that kind of stuff. That's what that's referring to.
This said that which the Lord thy God hated.
Yeah.
You know, he lets you know right there. He ain't playing. And remember, they set up the they grew the grove for Balaam. You know, for Asherah and Baal, right there near the temple of the Lord. You know, so right near the altar of the Lord. They had grove. You know, and but the boys had to cut it down though. Oh, I think we already read about that.
Yeah, and you know, it's the most detestable thing. And now the Most High has He has testified exactly what he was going to do to us. Hey, brother, bring up Deuteronomy 4:27 and 28. 27 and 28. Because this is what's going on. It says, "And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Lord shall lead you, and there ye shall serve what? God, the works of men's hand."
What does it say? The work of men's
Works
hands.
of men's hand. These holidays, what? You have this LA Christmas, you got St. Patrick's Day, you got all these other Valentine's Day, Halloween, all that stuff. And there you shall serve God's enemy's religion. The works of men's hand, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. Right? That's a serious note, Israel.
You serve the living God.
But it's like our people are attracted to wickedness. Just like we read in when we read in was it Judges, 2 Kings? Manasseh, they did more wicked than his fathers, and he did more wicked than the nations that the Most High destroyed.
Imagine that. I mean, like the Most High decided to choose us as a people, and then the people he chooses as a people is more wicked than the damn heathens. You know what I'm saying? Hey, seriously though, right? The Most High has sent us to commit whole genocides on whole nations, and we're more wicked than them. It's amazing that we're still alive as a people, right? It seriously is.
This is why we. But I'm gonna tell you, I can't speak for nobody else, but me and Brother Aton, this is why we go out of our way to make the Most High proud of us, because we don't want no part of wickedness and worshiping of idols and things like that. Y'all better not ever bring some crazy stuff on this channel, because y'all gonna be cut short. Y'all know how we get down and everything. But it's just imagine if we would have made our Abba proud of us. We would have been on top of the world right now. We would have been on top of the world ruling. Man, nobody would be able to. This is why me and Brother Aton we push the Most High's law so heavily. All right, this is why we have a calendar, Israel, so that this calendar can cut through all kinds of wickedness and spread amongst our people. And guess what? As long as we got breath in us, we're going to keep pushing this calendar so that our people can study, so that they can start keeping the laws, commandments, statutes. Because you know why? It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I know these Christians, these heathens have made it to where they made the law a burden and something as a disgust to keep. But we already know what's going to happen to our people who continue to go that route. All right, but laws of the Most High is a beautiful thing. Every Shabbat, Israel, is a beautiful thing, and it gets better and better every Shabbat. All right, it's just like the laws that we have, Israel, are the most beautiful things that the Most High has ever bestowed upon His people. And for us to just turn away and spit in the Most High's face and then turn to the other gods, that's just shameful and extremely disrespectful.
It's beyond shameful.
Yeah.
Yes, me. I don't know, man. Our people, man, we got to stop sooner or later, right?
Yeah.
All right. This is Artemis, right? Which is in the scriptures. If you want to read back in Acts 19, right? We have it as Diana, right? Diana is also the god Artemis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just read about her a little bit from the wiki first. Then we're gonna go to the Hebrew, and then we'll go to the scriptures and read, right? Because most of this stuff, like I said before, right, it's kind of wild. This wild deity stuff. It's the same thing that we got today, right? These old coons up in the the Ephesians, some coons, right? Some Hellenized, some Hellenized Jews, straight coonery going on over there, worshiping women again. That's the same. I mean, like, it seems like, man, our people cannot get away from that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the way now, we're in the New Testament, thousands of years later, and we're at it again, right? And we're at it again. And then guess what? Now we got all of this stuff. We got the CMOS gold. These women that worship brother. Oh, I'm God because I can give birth, and I do this and I'll do that. I don't understand. You only have an X chromosome. Why man
Let me,
has an XY chromosome?
let me tell you something. Is without the man, no woman will be able to have a baby, because women are only incubators. What you call is that? Did I use that right? Incubators. That means you carry the seed. You do not produce the seed. You carry the seed. Let's make sure we understand clearly the position and everything, because I hate when women say that stuff. Oh, I carried this baby for 9 months. No, you're just a housing unit, right? The man's property. That's what that is. This is why throughout history, when you see women in their role throughout history, some of the other heathen nations, they were savages with women. Dragging them by the hair, like a real caveman.
It's crazy. But the thing that's really disturbing is that even though we have modern science and we know that we have the XY chromosome, men are born with the XY chromosome, meaning that we chose, it comes from the man what sex the baby is, right? So that means that we can create women and men. That ought to tell you that, just from the man, right? From the man himself, we can create women and men, right? Because our seed is what determines the sex of the child, right? While the woman only has an X chromosome, period. So that should tell you just from science alone who comes from who, right? And who comes first. It doesn't make any sense to think any otherwise, right? But here we go. It says in ancient Greek religion, right? Because our people were Hellenized and turned to Greeks, right? And mythology, Artemis, right? As we also know is Diana, also in the scripture, the goddess of the hunt, the wilderness, wild animals, nature, vegetation, childbirth, care of children, and chastity, right? Was heavily identified with Selene, the personification of the moon, right? These women are always talking about, oh yeah, I got the line up with the moon, you know what I'm saying, with the lunar cycle and all this wickedness, right? Witch doctrines, all kinds of stuff come from the same thing that we got. I mean, I don't understand it how, thousands of years later, man, our people are still hung up on the same ideas, right? This stuff that these unclean spirits just seem to stick to Israel. Another lunar.
What you just read, Artemis. Are y'all familiar with the it's another word too, Artemisia, but it's the same division. The movie, y'all remember why that movie 300 that Hollywood put out? It was the second one. It was The Rise of an Empire, and they named that heathen Artemisia. She was like the leader of the Navy. She was leading all those men and stuff like that. So that's the kind of stuff that they like to portray in those movies. So all they were doing was just bringing out this goddess, this deity goddess, in these movies, and that's what they do. You just got to pay attention, and you got to be able to see what Hollywood is doing.
Yo, this is wicked as hell, right? It says another lunar deity, so was regarded as one of the most prominent lunar deities in mythology. Alongside the aforementioned two, she often roamed the forests of Greece, attended by her large entourage, mostly made up of nymphs, right? Like nymphos, right? Some mortals and hunters, right? So wild sex demons, right? Some mortals and some hunters, right? The goddess Diana is her Roman equivalent, right? That's the same thing, right? It says in Greek tradition, Artemis is the daughter of Zeus and Leto. What? And the twin sister. Yo. Are you serious right now, yo? Are you serious right now? So Salakia. Let's look at this week. Look, I mean, come on now. I mean, I don't know, man. This is all right. Let's just Salakia. All right. It says that the goddess in Greek tradition, Artemis is the daughter of Zeus and Leto, and the twin sister of Apollo. In most accounts, the twins are the products of extramarital liaisons, as liaisons, which means fornication, in other words, right? For this, Zeus's wife Hera forbade Leto for giving birth anywhere on the island, right? So just the doctrine itself is saying that, you know what, you can go out there and you can have children with women. You can lay down with women that you don't plan on marrying, and you can have children with them. You know what I'm saying? Women that you're not married with, it's okay to have sex. Have sex and babies outside of the union of marriage, which the Most High forbids.
And see, you look at all this pushing, and why do you think they push stuff on a lot of people within our community? 76 point, like, no, it's like, yeah, 76 point, 76% of black babies are born, born to unwed mothers. And that's a crying shame. You can, if you don't believe me, you can just go out and look. I challenge you that anywhere in your area where there's, good affluent amount of Israelites, just go to the restaurants and you're going to see who's all out there. You're going to see baby mamas, you're going to see mothers and aunties and children's without men. I mean, it's sad.
It's wickedness, right? So here we are. Let's get it into Hebrew, right? Pronunciation.
Strong's G 735. Artemis. Artemis.
Artemis. All right. Artemis. Right. If you can't roll your R's. All right. It says Diana, right? Which we see that is written in the scriptures as Diana, right? Unless you get the old Hebrew, like if I go to the Sefer, it'll be written as Artemis there, right? Because they had the correct translation. Mm-hmm. Artemis, that is to say, the so-called Teferic or Persian or Ephesian Artemis, the goddess of many Asiatic people, to be distinguished from the Artemis of the Greeks, the sister of Apollo. A very splendid temple was built to her at Ephesus. So these wicked ass niggas in Ephesus, they're building temples to some woman god that's not real. I mean, like, how stupid is our people, right? If you really think about it. Why would you make the Most High mad when you know that he brought you out of Egypt with 10 plagues? And you go on to worship things that are not real just because of the heathens are nothing. Like, why would you follow behind something that the Most High equivalates to spittle, right?
Exactly.
The heathen and the Most High are equivalent to spittle. He says they're less than nothing, counted as the dust on the balance. Like, have you ever put a little dust on the scale? That stuff don't weigh nothing. 0.1 or what? You know what I mean? That's how the Most High. He says, like a drop that falleth from a vessel. If you're carrying a bucket of water and a drop of the water fall out the bucket, are you going to care about that drop? No, you're just going to keep on walking up the hill. Exactly. You're not going to give two craps about it. And that's the way the Most High feels about these heathen. But our people are so slow that we want to go and follow after what they're doing. That we want to do Christmas. We like Thanksgiving, right? We like Memorial Day and all these other wicked pagan holidays or holidays, like Brother Daniel likes to say, right? This stuff is just on all levels wicked, right? It says it's probably from the same G736 prompt Artemis, the name of the Grecian goddess borrowed from the Asiatics from one of their deities. The Asiatic, man, these are not even our people. You know what I'm saying? Some strange looking folks right up here, our people have just decided, yeah, let's take on their God, even though the rest of the world, all the earth knows our God, Yahweh, and they're scared of his name. I mean, man, I was watching something the other day. I was watching a Chinese, a Chinese film, right? And don't you know that within the Chinese film, they knew that the God above all was Yahweh, which is our God. They knew that within the film. The other nations know our God is the living God. Let me see.
It's crazy, and it's like, man, you got something else? I was going to bring out a scripture right quick.
Right? I just wanted to show them a picture, right? This is the picture of the Greek god Artemis or Diana, what they have of. Now, those little lumps that you see right there around her chest, those are breasts. Right, that's how wicked that is, right? That's a whole bunch of breasts over there that they got. It's just all kind of sexual immorality, and you see like animals over here because she's supposed to be, leading over the animals. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that Adam named the animals of the earth. You don't have a woman over the deity of the animals of the earth. That man, that's just wicked and totally against what the Most High has written.
Show me anywhere in the Torah where the Most High gave dominion to the woman. You're not going to find it.
Which woman did he get up?
Dominion. The Most High created everything, but he turned over and gave dominion over to Adam. Matter of fact, Eve wasn't even invented until after the whole creation cycle. All right, crazy. Yet women want to say that they're equal to men. And that's a whole point of these deities. You know, that's what they're pushing. Or equal men are equal to women, or they're either stronger, or women are stronger. That's what they're putting in these movies. She-Hulk. Like how you gonna feminize all this stuff? And you know, all these men went through this training, and all of a sudden, the woman come on the scene. And all of a sudden, she got powers. No training, no guide, no nothing. You know.
Yeah, you want to hear something funny out? Every single feminine deity, or every single feminine person with power, or any of that, a man thought of it.
What?
A man thought of it.
Yep.
Right. That's the craziness of it, is that a man is behind this stuff, right? Like, for example, right here, we're going to read about Diana, or so-called Artemis. Acts chapter 19, we'll start at 24. Hey, hold on. Did you want to bring out a scripture before we go here out?
No, go ahead and bring that up, man. Then I'm also going to bring out something in reference to our people again.
Con. All right. It says, for a certain man named Demetrius, a silversmith, which made silver shrines for Diana, brought no small gain unto the craftsmen. Right. That means, man, he was balling. Right. He was making money off of making these, off of making these silver shrines, of this woman, these molten images, right? Stuff that what the very first commandment says we're not supposed to make that stuff, right? No autos before how you shall make no molten images or anything like that, right? Whom he called together with the workmen of like occupation and said, sirs, ye know that by this craft we have our wealth, right? Like I said, everything starts with money, right? They made up this fake, this fake god, right? Diana or Artemis, right? The Greek gods or whatever. It's all for money. This stuff is for filthy lucre. That's all it's for. And it says what? Moreover, ye see and hear that not alone in Ephesus. Now understand. Now remember. Now the main problem was not that they were against their god. This so-called fake god Diana or Artemis, right? Watch now. These men are mad because they about to cut their hustle short, right? That's what they're mad for. They mad because their hustle is about to get cut short. But people don't, when they read this stuff, they just skip right over there and they just, read through it like it's a book without seeing the reason behind why they were mad over this so-called goddess Diana, right? Or Artemis. It says, for a certain man named Demetrius, a silversmith, which made silver shrines for Diana, brought no small gain unto the craftsmen, whom they called together with the workmen of like occupation. So he called a bunch of his buddies that did the same thing, right? And said, sirs, ye know that by this craft we have our wealth. Moreover, ye see and hear that not alone in Ephesus, but almost throughout all Asia, this Paul has persuaded and turned away much people, right? Paul messing up the price of the drugs. Hey, man, he messing it up because he got a cheaper, he got something that's better for cheaper. Right? He got something that's original. Yeah, he has the gospel of the Most High, and he's selling that for cheaper. And they mad about it. Because they can't make money off the Lord. Right? And it says, moreover, ye see and hear that not alone in Ephesus, but almost throughout all of Asia, this Paul has persuaded and turned away much people, saying that there be no gods which are made with hands. So that not only this our craft is in danger to be set at naught, but also that the temple of the great goddess Diana should be despised. That's going to cut their hustle all the way down. That's going to cut their hustle short. And her magnificent should be destroyed, whom all Asia and the world worshipeth. And when they had heard these things, they were full of wrath and cried out, saying, great is Diana of the Ephesians. Wickedness, right? Just wickedness. Mad because they hustle is about to get stamped out. Instead of turning around and doing righteousness, right, and following the ways of the Most High and coming to the truth, they want to uplift some wicked whore, some wicked harlot god that has nothing to do with the commandments and everything to do with the flesh, right, and filthy lucre. And the whole city was filled with confusion, and having great Gaius and Aristarchus, men of Macedonia, Paul's companions in travel, they rushed with one accord into the theater. And when Paul would have entered into the people, the disciples suffered him not. Right? And certain of the chief of Asia were with his friends sent to him, desiring him that he would not adventure himself into the theater. Some therefore cried one thing and some another, for the assembly was confused. and the more part knew not whether they were come together, right? So nobody knew why they was there, really, right? And they drew Alexander out of the multitude, the Jews putting him forward, and Alexander beckoned with the hand and would have made his defense unto the people. But when they knew that he was a Jew, all with one voice about the space of 2 hours cried out, "Great is Diana of the Ephesians," right? So you got a bunch of cool, wicked niggas over here, chanting, the name and the praise of a God that's not real. And when the town clerk had appeased the people, he said, "Ye men of Ephesus," right? Somebody with some sense finally. "Ye men of Ephesus, what man is there that knoweth not that the city of Ephesians is a worshiper of the great goddess Diana," right? Who has done nothing for them, right? Not one miracle have we ever seen, heard of, right? We know, these gods are not real. These are gods of the dead, not gods of the living. "And of the image which fell down from Jupiter, seeing then that these things cannot be spoken against, ye ought to be quiet and do nothing rashly. For ye have brought hither these men, which are neither robbers of the churches." Now, I don't think they really knew Paul right there to say that, because they said that, "For ye have brought hither these men, which are neither robbers of the churches, nor yet blasphemers of your goddess. Wherefore, if Demetrius and the craftsmen which are with them have a matter against any man, the law is open, and there are deputies, let them implead one another." So they were saying, right, they're not really coming down and just, trying to thrash, thrash Diana, because Paul is bringing the truth, right? Paul is bringing the truth of the living God, right? Of the living God of Israel. But I don't really think they really knew Paul too good, or they wouldn't have said that he was neither a robber of the churches, because we know that Paul robbed other churches to give to his people, right? If you was over there teaching wickedness, man, Paul's gonna get a hold of you.
Yeah.
Right.
I know Paul one time he was killing the people who wouldn't keep the laws anyway.
Con. That's just crazy, man. This is a whole city, right? A whole, the Ephesians, right? The folks at Ephesus, a bunch of coons, right? A bunch of wicked Israelites over here worshiping women. Worshiping a woman god that has nothing but sexual immorality, right? Crafted by the hands of men.
Mm-hmm.
All for $1. All for a couple of silver pieces, right? A couple of shekels. This is wicked, man. This is the same thing that we do today with our people.
Yep.
Go ahead, Ak.
All right, so time and time after again, Israel, it's always something with our people. All right, y'all know this story already. This is what the Greeks. So it's like every time, no matter what captivity we've gone through, it's like our people just never learn. Right? This is First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 11. "In those days went there out of Asherah wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, Let us go and cut a covenant with the heathen that are round about us." Now, mind you, this was a couple thousand years after Manasseh was wicked, trying to, force people to do wicked back in Israel. So again, in those days, we went out of Yasharah, wicked men, and persuaded many, saying, "Let us go and cut a covenant with the heathen." That's serious. Covenant? No, covenant means agreement, promise, with the heathen that are round about us. Since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. It sounds like our people today. We can't live without the heathen. What are we going to do without the heathens? We need the heathens. We love marrying the heathens. We want to have mixed babies by them. It says, so this device pleased them well. It's crazy. I mean, our people just want to slap the taste out their mouth.
It's crazy too, because when you go back to the Torah, when we read earlier in Exodus 34, the Most High strictly told them, do not make any covenants with the heathens.
Exactly.
Do not make any covenants with the heathens. Stuff that he directly told you do not do. What do our people do? They go and do it anyway. And They wonder why the hell we got shackles of iron around our neck. We're constantly getting our backs beat in, and we're constantly just dying and afraid for our life out here.
And we're in a worse situation right now because we're in the land of our captivities, but our people are mixing like crazy with them. All right. And our people, you got to stop calling these folks Israelites. If our people are having babies with heathens, they're no longer Israelites. You destroyed that seed. All right.
God.
I hate when our people do that stuff. They still black. No, they're not.
No, they're not. Yeah, you can read Ezra. It'll tell you that. A matter of fact, Ezra 9 and 10, it'll tell you them boys that when they had mixed babies, the Most High told them to get rid of the mixed babies. Yo, man, get their wicked ass up, their unclean ass up out of Jerusalem, up out of Israel. And if you was married any of them heathen wives, they got to go too.
Because what happened is you created an abomination that the Most High did not create.
God.
That's that at its finest. You know, show me where in the scriptures where Most High created a mamzer. No, you create that through wickedness by gene mixing.
God.
And it says, so this device pleased them well. Right?
You know,
so man, that's crazy. To the point where they were happy with it. It's just like these Negroes today. All right, we got our leaders in these so-called offices, these black caucuses, always want to blend in, want to sell your own people out, just so you can get some morsels of bread, and everything, so you can make sure a chair is passed to your children. But at the same time, you're selling out all your people. Martin Luther King, you know.
Matter of fact, we're gonna do a lesson called the Coon of Coons, King Herod. Yeah, it's coming out.
All right, we might have to do that next week then. Yeah.
God, the Coon of Coons.
It says then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the orders of the heathen. Man, every time I read stuff like this, I get angry. Because whereupon they built a place of exercise at Yasharim according to the customs of the heathen. Man, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, which is the law, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. Just like
That's
today.
Crazy, man. What?
Just like today. Israel, like our people are so lawless. Like if you take the amount of people who are keeping the laws with all their heart, mind, and soul, it's very, very, very few. Very, very few. Right? But for the most part, our people are just blatantly wicked. When they talking about deliverance, ain't no deliverance happening no time soon.
No time soon.
People are wicked. They're gonna have to die out. They're gonna have to continue to die out. The only relief you're gonna get is to the grave. And you better make sure that you live in your life according to the Most High.
Like Beyonce should never be able to go to some to some kind of concert and do a concert, and our people are up there, right? And then she put on something wicked, and then we don't say nothing, right? She should immediately get booed off the stage and let her know that Israel's not down with that, right? But our people, we be the first one up there, you know, trying to be on the front row, cheering with your phone out, trying to record all the wickedness. I mean, I mean, like sometimes, man, it just sucks. It's heavily aggravating to see how much our people support wickedness on all levels, right? And we just don't question it. You know what I'm saying? We just let it ride out. Hey, well, let's not rock the boat. Right? Let's not say anything.
Because our people have been conditioned to be that way. When you have so much stuff, like we was coming up, we didn't have these cell phones, we didn't have all this social media stuff. We played outside a lot. You don't see kids playing outside no more. You got all these distractions, and what it's done is it has weakened our people. It has numbed them up. Where our people they're nonchalant. They don't even. It's like their senses are all gone. Everything is operating off of impulse with our people. Everything is all about impulse. Nobody thinks anymore. There's no intellect. That's why there's a famine of the word, because everything is based upon impulse or feelings. And when everything is based upon feelings, and everything else goes out the door. And that's the dangerous part of our people. Operating with nothing but pure feelings. And you have these women raising up these boys. These boys grow up feminists. And guess what? They operate on pure feelings. That's why our brothers are shooting one another in the streets more and more. Because of feelings. Man, you hurt my feelings, man. I'm gonna come blow your head off. You disrespected our boy. I'm gonna come shoot your neighborhood up.
God, right? And Israel, the same thing, right? You gotta feelings is what's getting our people into trouble instead of keeping the law, right? Instead of using wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? Using the logic of the scriptures, feelings is getting us in trouble. Like you have these brothers out here, they're trying to go out here and save these single mothers, right? Hey, brother, that's not your duty. She is already with another man, right? She is already given the best gift that you can give to another man. If she can't get along with him, what makes you think that she's gonna be able to get along with you? Leave these sisters alone that are out there. Let them repent in peace, right? Don't be going for the low-hanging fruit. Let them repent in peace, and then so that the women and the men that come up after them, they see what to do. They see what not to do, right? That's the same thing that our people need to go through, and our people need to push righteousness at all levels, right? It's ridiculous. No man is going to come out there and he's not going to feel comfortable with picking up another man's saved game. That's wicked as hell. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, brother. You get nothing new, and you always got to deal with another man in your life forever. That's not of the scriptures. That doesn't even make sense, right? How are you going to call that your woman when you have another man directly involved in your life forever because she's had a child with that? You know what I'm saying? Because she's had a child with that brother. For you to do that it's just beyond stupidity. It's beyond stupidity of all levels. Out of all these millions of women out here, you have to get a woman that already has a child with somebody else. That's stupid. That woman she has shown no discipline. Period. She's not going to be nothing but a headache.
And what makes you think after she done been with so many dudes, she had like babies by different guys? What makes you think she's going to be ready to settle down? You know, that's wickedness. Even that's against the law. You can't do anything at that point. But the heathens have made it so where our people can be so wicked, but unbelievable. Like this, I'm telling you, if Abraham was alive to see what was going on, if our people were alive in ancient days to see what was going on right now, just imagine if Jehu was alive and see what's going on, he probably messed around and killed every single woman on the planet.
You know, hey, this is who they worshiping right here,
yeah.
That's who they worshiping.
And he would have killed all the Pookies and the Ray Rays. He would have killed
man, they got to go.
All the harlots, all the Pookies and the Ray Rays.
All right. As a matter of fact, the Pookies and the Ray Rays wouldn't even be the Pookies and the Ray Rays. We had those, once the law was in, right? You had to marry the woman if you laid with the woman. It was and you had to give the father 50 shekels. You just can't be out here fornicating like that and then not get any kind of repercussions. You know, you can't do that, brother. If you're going to lay down with a woman and take her virginity or this, that, and the third, you have to marry that woman, right? That's why all these sisters have so much. You know what I'm saying? Because number one, we know what? They're easily influenced. That's from the very beginning, we see that women are easily influenced, right? And brothers that are out here taking advantage of women because they're easily influenced, right? And you're sleeping with them and you're taking their chastity, right? And now what you're doing, you're causing a problem for the next man because now what? Now the woman's unclean for the next man. And then now he has to put up with the problem. And then it's a revolving cycle. And then all of a sudden she's a hater of men. And then if she did have a child, she's going to teach her son that she's going to emasculate him because she want to be in her masculine. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing that keeps on going wrong. All this trauma is a cause wrong. Number one, right? We got a lot of trauma that's going on in the truth caused by the men, number one, and the women.
If you think it's bad now, just imagine 50 years from now, 20 years from now. Some of y'all probably can't even think. Some of y'all probably saying, "Oh, it ain't gonna be no 20 years from now." You don't know that it's gonna be crazy. It's going to, and then the scripture says only a remnant. And I truly believe now. This is what I truly believe. I truly believe that our, the Israelite seed, we're going to be diminished to the point of it's going to only be a few of us. All right, because think about it, Israel. Most High does not need 40 million Israelites who populate the world. It just needs 8. Don't even need 8, really. Don't get it twisted. Like we're some trophies that the Most High must have. He said he can raise up these stones, and that's our problem. And that was the problem of our forefathers. I think they got too comfortable because they were above the other nations, and they felt like they can just do anything. They can start going off and worshiping other gods, and the Most High wasn't going to do anything to them. You know what I'm saying? And if you notice throughout all history, our people get like that. Even today, you look at these camps, same thing. It's like no fear, no fear for the Most High at all. But yet they got our people, blending in and marrying and mixing in with these damn heathens.
The scriptures in Deuteronomy 28. Y'all think that the Most High is crying and sighing about y'all being wicked? No. I
Bring
promise
it
you,
out. Deuteronomy
Con, you know what? Yeah, Con, man. Let me bring this up real quick.
Voice do evil. Bring it out. Bring it out. They need to be reminded of that. It's 65, I think.
Yeah, Con. That's right. Now, watch this, right? We're gonna read 62 and 63. Y'all think the Most High is the Most High is happy when he gets rid of one of us wicked niggas? He's happy because that's less stuff he has to put. You know what I'm saying? That's less he has to look down and see somebody not keeping the commandments, right? That's a less worry for him when you already in hell, chilling, waiting to go to the lake of fire.
Man.
Yeah, man, he don't got to deal with you no more, right? He don't got to deal with you doing any more sin, no, anything on the earth, making his name look bad, because that's exactly what we're doing when we're doing that stuff. You out there worshiping Diana and Artemis, being wicked as hell, right? That's exactly what's going on. It says, and ye shall be left few in number, not a lot. That's why these clown ass niggas that are over here in these camps talking about, oh, we the sand of the sea. No, we're not the sand of the sea.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High said, and ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude. Meaning that we were a lot of people back in the day, but we're not now, because the Most High is killing us for being wicked. Because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord God. Y'all over there obeying the voice of Diana and Asherah, and hanging out with the Molech and Baal, being wicked as hell. Sexual immorality. Tons of harlots, whores, baby mamas, niggas that just can't help it but be fornicators. And it says, and it shall pass, and it shall come to pass, right? And it has came to pass, that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught, and ye shall be plucked from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it. And the Lord shall...
Man, I can just see, like, and and it's sad to say this, but it's like when you look at Yahweh on the throne, and our wicked people are just dying left and right. It's like a frown or like a satisfaction comes over his face. That's scary, Israel. Man,
y'all don't know the Lord.
Scary. That's scary to fall into that kind of situation.
Yeah, man, we got too many funny churchgoers.
I've seen whole towns. I've seen the town. I was familiar with Rome. It's mostly Israel out there. Nearly the whole damn town got wiped out. Now, just imagine those people and how many have rejected the Most High and this law. Somebody came to them one day. I guarantee you, somebody came to them and shared the truth with them. They either rejected it or they just blew it off. Can you imagine that? A whole town. Now, Rolling Fork is only like 2,500 people. All right, 2,500 roughly. All right, and I knew folks there because it's one of my stomping grounds coming up. None of my family members got hurt because they live in the outskirts, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of people who got killed because they live in like the trailers and stuff like that, even ones who stayed in houses. But the whole town, y'all look up the tornadoes in Rolling Fork, Mississippi. In fact, you know what? Y'all want to write it down? Just write down tornadoes destroys Rolling Fork, Mississippi. That was the worst destruction I've ever seen in my life, the tornado. It just wiped through a whole town. And that's what I'm talking about, and it's getting to the point where the Most High is, the word says that judgment will begin at the house of the Almighty. So what do you think that is, Israel? That's with us, with our people. Why do you think our people keep getting shot down by the police? And not only that, but just dying left and right. It's like the Most High is putting the spirit on these wicked niggas out here to shoot one another. Think about that. The Most High is putting the spirit on these brothers to shoot one another until they come to their damn senses and realize they need to get back to the commandments. They're going to keep killing one another. You think the Most High care about them? No, yeah. The Most High is like, let them die. Let them kill each other off. You know what? That's probably a good thing. Because they want to do wicked. And it's like, man, I hate to say it, man, but it's like the Most High has to punish our people You know, even in these certain neighborhoods, like in inner cities, you know, when y'all know what gentrification is, you know, they're pushing our people out of the cities because it's sad that the Most High have to use heathens to push our wicked people out of the cities because they want to continue to sell drugs and all kinds of stuff to their own people, do wicked. So it's like the Most High is raising up these white folks to gentrify your towns, to push these unworthy black folks out of them towns because they ain't doing nothing for their people. That's sad. That's sad. Y'all better not. You know, you don't take advantage of the Most High's kindness now, and think that the Most High is weak and not going to do anything to His people. Even as we speak, the Most High is using these heathens. And He said He would do that. All right. So He would use these heathens to destroy our people. And that's exactly what happened. You look at what's happening in Chicago. They're sending all these Mexicans to Chicago. Why? Because they're about to flat out all the Israelites out there. It's being wicked. And I guarantee you, every one of them last Israelites out there is just being wicked. They all get out. The Most High says, okay, I'm gonna send these heathens, and I'm gonna have them take your place so that you can die off. And when the brother Eitan read that verse, I will rejoice over you to do wicked, that is part of it right there, sending those Mexicans over there in your areas.
Yeah, the Most High is rejoicing. Yep. Yeah, cramp them niggas up in there. They don't want to do nothing. They don't want to keep no commandments. Yep. They want to twerk, be baby mamas and Pookie and Ray Rays and run around and shoot up their own people, rob their own people, and do kind of stuff like that. Yeah.
And it's like what's going on. It's like Most High going to make. They just approved $51 million for those immigrants. It's okay. Y'all ain't got reparations. The hell with y'all. I'm gonna give the heathen something, and then I'm gonna cause them to start their own businesses. That they can push y'all out of your own communities because y'all refuse to obey my voice.
Man.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. This is, Israel. It's we got to wake up. What I don't understand like how we are so slow to come to terms with what we have been doing is not working.
And I'm gonna tell you something. He says 50 shot and 11 died in Chicago. You know that these ain't nothing but children of harlots. And guess what? Facts. The more these harlots produce, the more they're producing children for the sword. Breeding them for prison life. Breeding them for death. That's it.
No Most High is not playing with us.
No purpose. You may have 1 and 2. You may dribble a ball and make it to the NBA or something like that. Most of these folks are just born for the sword.
And then if you do make it to the NBA, what good is your life? What are you doing? You're chasing around a ball.
Yeah.
You're chasing around a ball for some while you're entertaining the heathen. You know what I mean? I mean, what's really good here? You're not learning no skills. You know what I'm saying? If any kind of natural disaster would have happened, how the hell would dribbling the ball help you save your wife and children? That's not gonna that's not gonna work. They got you literally you're playing a kid's game. You start playing the basketball when you're a child. The scriptures say when you become a man, you're supposed to do man things. Right? And when you was a child, you did childish things. Our men have to stand the hell up. We got, it's getting old, Israel. It really is. Yep. We got too much wickedness among our people, and it has to stop. The Most High saying that He's rejoicing over killing y'all, right? The Most High said He rejoicing over killing us.
And you just look. If you don't believe it, just go look in these little hoods and stuff across the nation. And if you notice, every hood is the same. It's the same across the nation. Any major city to your minor cities, always a hood. Always a hood.
And what do we have in the hood? Single mothers,
yep,
raising up Pookies and Ray Rays. That's what you have,
yep,
right? That's what you have. It said 54%, right, of men live in middle class areas, right? 54% of brothers, right, are childless living. If 54% of brothers that are childless living in middle class areas, and we have 73% of our sisters that are single mothers, hey man, hey, what's going on here? Them numbers ain't adding up. Yeah.
So it's like I'm telling you, I see the writing on the wall. It's like the Most High is killing all our wicked people. Everybody who is being straight up wicked. The Most High is killing.
They wanna worship Artemis. That's what they want. Yeah, they want Diana. They want Asherah. They want to believe that you can twerk and be naked as hell. Don't this look like most of the sisters that we see right now? That's rocking around wearing damn nothing. They got them what do you call them things on? Them leotards or damn man, what's the things called? Them stretch pants or whatever. You know, so they form fit on your body. You know, you ain't covering up nothing. You walking out in the public like that. Like that's something cute. That's wicked as hell.
And there's no one to do. You know, it's like they
spandex. That's the name of the stupid thing.
You know what's bad, y'all? Is that like the high schools now? You know, there used to be a time where high schools and the school period had dress codes. But I kid you not, I was driving and I was the high school that was just let out and everything. And y'all tell me if I'm wrong, y'all. And y'all can let me. You can testify this if you see this in your area too. But there was a high school that just let out. I guess they got out of school. Every single sister I saw, a young girl, she was dressed like a hooker. Bro, I grew up. I'm over 50, all right, and I grew up. And if you saw a hooker on the streets, you knew. If it was just like a hooker, you knew that they were a hooker. They were selling their bodies, because people just didn't dress like that on a normal. Every woman wore dresses. When I was growing up in school, if a girl came to in high school, if a girl came to school in shorts, the principal made her go home and put on a dress. All right, but the high school these days, these kids, they're dressing like that. Exactly, dressing just like that. Matter of fact, go down. Now, right. the girl I saw was dressed like this one in the picture. With the red shirt on and everything.
This one?
Yes. I'm like, man, they letting these high school kids wear this stuff. Do y'all see that stuff in your areas in Israel? Where
wickedness.
They're letting the kids dress any way they want to dress.
Look at that stuff. I mean, like you're not hiding nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're literally not hiding nothing. You might as well just walk out the house with nothing on. Yeah. You're wicked as hell. Now they got like pants like this that just shape around your booty cheeks. That's wicked as hell right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you think the Most High is happy when he killing our people? Most definitely he is. Most definitely he is. I mean, like, imagine you have the holy seed out there walking around like that amongst the heathen.
You know, and I'm glad I'm not the only one that's seen it, because I'm like, when I saw that these high schoolers, I said I'm gonna have to have a talk with the principal at these schools and see what the hell they doing. How come they don't have no dress code or something? You know, with these kids, and they wonder why our people keep getting raped and have a high body count and hitting, you know, having all this sexual morality at a very young age, because they can't contain themselves. Why? Because their bodies are not covered. And you go to Afghanistan, every single woman over there is covered.
Yeah, they don't play that.
Afghans are not playing that stuff. They're not. See, they were trying to, be westernized and everything. You had a group of women trying to push an agenda. Oh, we want to be like America. We want to dress the way we want to dress and don't have to wear head wraps.
They killed them ones, didn't they?
Those Taliban said the hell no with that. And that country was run by men. It has always been run by men. And no one in history has been able to take that country. I was over in Afghanistan. And I know the history of that place. Even the Russians back in the 70s, they could not take over the place. Because Afghanistan has never been conquered, because it's run by men.
You know what's weird too, right? It's the same thing, brother. You know how they have the little the Asherah and Diana, how they want to be gods of war and all kinds of stuff like that. It's the same thing. You got these we got these women in office, right? These women holding these political positions, making decisions, right? Hey, they don't making decisions when they haven't done anything. Like, there's no women on like that's dealing with Israel that has shed blood for anything, really. Not for no rights. They haven't been in the wars. They haven't been fighting. They haven't been doing anything. They haven't built up any civilizations. But now all of a sudden we get to America, right? And it's supposed to be survival of the fittest, right? Just like it is in Israel. We had the men going to war, and the men had the business, and the men were running everything in Israel, every single thing. King David to Solomon to Saul to to everything we had. The men were running it. But now, right, we're in the country and we see what's going on as now the economy is going to crap. You know what I'm saying? All the voting. I mean, the majority of voters are women. That's how you got the idiot, you know, and I'm not a politician and I don't give a damn about any of the politics that we have, but just to see the actions behind what the women have done. We have these liberal clowns that keep getting in the office, making all these stupid decisions, right? We have, you know, we have how, I don't know. I'm not even going to talk about it. Dog, it's just super aggravating. You know what I'm saying? It's just super aggravating. I mean, like, we don't need the help. You know, we don't need the help. Period. Right now, I mean, like now because we have so many women that are decided to come and then get a job and then work and do all this other stuff. Now, what's they're having the government raise the children, right? You know what I'm saying? Or they're not even having children at all. And then when they get old, you know what I'm saying, old and used up, now they want out here, they want to look for a man when they know that the scriptures say that you need to get married when you're young, when you're vibrant, when you have children, when you're young. Nobody's trying to marry a you know what I'm saying, woman with a ton of experiences. And then you know, she has her own opinions and she can't get on the man's program. Like the scriptures say, you're not going to be a helpmeet. You're trying to be partners with somebody. Ain't nobody saying nothing about no partners in the scriptures. Y'all over there worshiping you know what I'm saying, Baal, Diana, Artemis, and Asherah. It's the same situation. Oh, I want to do my own thing. This is wickedness on all levels. This is why our community especially, I mean, like, how long is it going to take for us to realize? Like, when are you sisters going to realize single mothers is just as stupid as hell? Marry before you carry.
And this is why it's getting worse. And this is why I was like, you know, like I said, I was blown away, you know, when I saw these high school kids dressed like that. I'm like, do they not have dress codes anywhere no more in these high schools? Some of y'all got kids that are in high school, you know, like, man, do they not have a dress code in these schools? It's crazy. I remember growing up, we had, you know, everybody was in the same uniform. You boys had to wear the pants and a shirt that covered up their arms, and the girls had to wear a dress.
It was down to the knee.
Yes.
Down to the knee. Yeah,
it was down to the knee or past the knees.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We didn't even think like that back then. You know, if it was like, if you thought of something like that, that was like crazy. Even if you was in elementary and you saw a boy and a girl kissing, that was like an abomination. You know, you get scolded for that kind of stuff. You know, but now these kids in junior high school, as soon as they hit puberty, they already having intercourse. Babies having babies.
All right. Then we let in room, right? Like, y'all see how this stuff works? Like, I want y'all to understand, like, watch closely. These heathen first started giving giving rights to women to vote and do all this other stuff, and now y'all can wear pants and all this other crazy stuff, and just continuously on just putting y'all on an equal plane to where y'all do the same thing as men. Y'all have all the same rights, everything that men do. Y'all go out in the world, y'all do all this other stuff, giving y'all no fault divorce, you know, all this other stuff that they have given this power to women, right? Since they have given the power to women, what has happened? Now we're seeing homosexuality at an all-time high, transgenderism at an all-time high, pornography at an all-time high, all of this wickedness at an all-time high. Now they got companies like Target, right? They got Target. What they're doing, they're coming after your children with Pride Month or whatever the hell this is or whatever. They got them, you know what I'm saying? They can't reproduce, so they recruit. And they're recruiting your children. You single mothers that doggone talking about, I want the bag, and I don't want to be you know, and I don't want to acquiesce to no man or any of this other stuff. You're sending your children right into the lion's den.
Check this out.
No protection.
Yeah, check this out. George Soros, who owns Black Lives Matter, owns it, but yet he used 3 black women, 3 lesbians to actually create it and everything. But he owns it though. So you know, it's crazy. You know, they own the stuff, but yet they use our people to push the agendas.
They like daddy government. You know, they like daddy government. They don't want to, you know, hey, Israel, this is, you know, we're freshly out of what maybe 100-something years out of slavery, 200-something years out of slavery, right? We're not even that far gone from slavery that we just you know what I'm saying, we just came out of that, right? Let me see. Hold up.
So, yeah, so just do 1865 minus 2023, and you'll get your I think it might be a little over 150 years, something like that.
Yeah, Khan. Right. And that's hardly nothing, Israel.
No,
We
not.
barely out of slavery. Right. We barely out of slavery, and all of a sudden the women have been and the men. I mean, I'm sorry, especially you damn women. I mean, especially you women. I'm sorry, sisters. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the ones that are repentant. We're not talking about those, right? I'm talking to the sisters that are keeping the commandments, to notice the sisters that are not and how they living, right? Brothers too, right? This is just absolutely wicked. They think they can just do whatever they want to do, right? And they shouldn't be judged, and a man shouldn't look at your past. And I mean, man, when you go and try to get a loan from the bank, they look at your credit, they look at your past to make a decision on your future. Why, when you think that it work or anything else like that? That doesn't make sense for you to think that, right? Decisions, right? They have weight. Actions, they have weight. You can't just do one thing and expect somebody to forget about it and do all of this and then think it's going to be okay. That's not how the world works. This is why when we were under the law, if you was a harlot in your daddy's house, you got stoned to death. Right, so much to the point that they brought you out in front of the gates, right, of the city, and the men would stone you to death. That way, to do what? To keep women's legs closed. To do what? To keep them from the stuff that we got going on today.
And that's
there will be no baby mamas.
That's a culture shock when it all comes back. Can you imagine when Israel came out of Egypt? It was a culture shock because they were so grafted into the Egyptians' gods and stuff and everything, and then when they getting stoned and stuff, it was like a big culture shock. Like, whoa, what the hell? What did I do? You know, you just get stoned because, you know, you have to bring it back. It's gonna be the same way, Israel. It's not gonna be no difference because it's like it's worse because people don't want to keep the commandments. But when it happens, when we do go into our wilderness and everything, which is a long ways from now, it's gonna be a culture shock, a supreme super culture shock.
And no goddess Diana or Asherah is gonna be able to save you.
None of that stuff. Ain't gonna be no booty shorts wearing. Ain't gonna be none of that stuff. You know?
And the ones that think differently, the Most High says that He's getting rid of all the rebels, so you're gonna die.
Yep.
So you know, if you want to give more Hamashiach a mouth talking about some, I don't want to be controlled of what I wear or anything stupid thing like that. Hey man, get ready to go to the lake of fire. We're getting rid of your ass. We don't got time for it. And then you wicked niggas that are over here thinking that you're gonna go ahead and take advantage of low-hanging fruit and then convince women that are already with children to lie with them, you know what I'm saying, and do all kind of crazy stuff like that. We're gonna get rid of your ass too. You guys to go to the lake of fire. We don't need no more you Pookie and Ray Rays messing up the community. Yeah. Hey, we gotta get y'all up out of here. If you don't want to keep the law, if you don't want to obey Hamashiach, and then stop making our people a reproach and a proverb among the earth, we got to get rid of you. You have to go. Right, I'm tired of being looked at like it's an embarrassment to be black right now in America. It's an embarrassment to be an Israelite. Man, they look at us like some lazy, shiftless, you know what I'm saying, coon ass niggas that we can't do for ourselves for this long. 150 years or so, and we've been out of captivity. And instead of getting better, right, the sisters have damn near totally separated themselves from us. And now you got brothers over here messing with heathens. You know what I'm saying? Got these passport dummies over here flying to Thailand, getting all these damn heathen women. You know what I'm saying? And the Philippines getting heathen women.
That's crazy.
Right? Look at you know what I'm saying? Just look at the divide that we have going on. All because of what? Sisters, man, y'all think that that the brothers deserve on average a 189-pound woman. That weighs more than a man. Why? What the hell are y'all out there doing? Why y'all weighing 189 damn pounds? How come when I go to the gym, I don't see no sisters in there? What the hell is going on? You think brothers gonna want to marry that? No. That's why y'all the last picked on everything, and nobody don't want to mess with y'all. That's just crazy.
It's funny you say that because every time I go to the gym, all you see is heathen women in there.
That's all you see.
And everything.
But them is the ones that's catching all the men, and those are the ones that are getting married. Ain't nobody trying to, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, come on, y'all. I mean, like, damn. I thought we strive for excellence. You know what I'm saying? But y'all want to go get a bag and make your own business and think that brothers want to hear about, you know, oh yeah, well, I've become a doctorate and doing all this, and you 30 years old. and you don't want to listen to what a brother say. You're not over that man at no point in time in your life, because at the bottom of the what it really comes down to is, what do we do? What does the Most High do? Right?
Mm-hmm.
The Most High takes over folks with strength and violence. That's how you win an argument. That's how you win it. The Most High, when he decides to change anything, even these damn heathen, they take stuff with violence. That's what it does. That's how you solve problems. Folks don't want to do what you want to say. You got to kill them. You got to get them up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because changing people's mind, it's going to take too long. That's why the Most High, he has a set time. He has a set time for him to come back and send his son, because guess what? He knows that everybody's mind can't be changed. Some of you niggas got to die.
That's right.
That's just how it's got to be. And I don't understand why our people can't get out. Why can't our people see this? Y'all women have since the 70s, right? 30 years, no, I'm sorry, 50 years later, right? Since the 70s, 50 years later, y'all niggas have completely ruined the community. Talking about something, y'all don't need no man. When y'all can't beat up a damn man to save y'all life, y'all have no protection, and always crying about y'all don't have protection.
You know what? You know what though? The downsides of that is that 20 years, anywhere from 20 to 50 years from now, we're gonna see. I mean, we're gonna see the complete results of that. We're starting to see the results of it now, but we're gonna really see and this is the thing we don't understand, Israel. The Most High is gonna let us continue our wickedness, and He's gonna let that stuff burn out until our people are completely destroyed. So there's only a small seed left. You have no idea. Just look at the history of how the Most High dealt with His people. Even before the flood, they only 8 people out of what? Who knows what the population of the earth was back then? But only 8. Man, that's scary.
That's scary.
And them boys, Noah and Enoch and other guys, Methuselah, they spent 120 years trying. Same stuff. He did like what me and Brother Eitan did. Same stuff. Repeated. I know they must have been tired of dealing with wicked people.
And they were closer to the time where they saw miracles every day. You know what I'm saying, Doc? It was closer to the time when they saw miracles every day.
I know. He says, when will this end? Well, brother, when
we get tired of being wicked.
Yep, exactly. When we tired of being wicked.
It says when we start crying and sighing.
That's going to be a long time.
Yeah, it's going to be a long time.
So sis, I know we have a lot of seniors. This is what you need to do. You just need to put in your part. According to Titus 2:12, teach these young women the best you can before you go to the grave, because the work that you put in is going to be measured. So get the work. This is why me and Brother Eitan always putting this work in, because we don't know when we're going to go. We don't know when we're going to take our last breath.
It's a short chapter, but the Most High got a whole chapter. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah chapter 4 about single independent women that talk about they got their own stuff, and they got their own clothes, they got their own bread. Please would you take us to be a man? At the end, it says what? The Most High is going to cleanse Israel with the spirit of burning and judgment. That means single independent women, you're going to die. That's what it means. Plain and simple. Most High ain't dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? The brothers is not going to take no unclean woman that's been out there sleeping with a bunch of dudes and want to marry them. That's not going to happen. No righteous man of the Most High is going to do that. That's just like, you know what I'm saying? Harlots and whores up here, you know what I'm saying? Now they got they, you know what I'm saying? They up in age, and you know what I'm saying, they done been through all these experiences trying to holler at Brother Daniel.
I'm ready.
Brother Daniel, please marry me. Brother Daniel ain't gonna go for that, and neither am I. That's just crazy. Or any brother that keeps the commandments.
But it's just sad that you get to a point where you get into your 60s and your 70s, and all of a sudden you're ready to submit.
That's
just that's a slap in the face. That's just straight up disrespectful.
And for all you brothers that are listening, right? You're putting your mouth on a woman that has already put her mouth on other men. That's nasty, brother. Yeah, hey, do you know how unclean that is right there? Right? This woman has done stuff with the next man. This is why this stuff used to get stoned to death. The disrespect that has, right? To that woman to do something, to have sex and do all of that stuff with the next man. And I know your brothers know what's going on with that, right? And then she come to you, and now she wants to be your woman. Are you kidding me right now? You got to be, you can't be on your A game and think that's something that you should accept.
Yeah.
Right? That can't be, you know what I'm saying, brother? That you can't be something, that cannot be something that you think that's okay to accept. That's why women are supposed to be untouched. I don't want nothing that some other brother done used. You kidding me right now? I don't want that. I don't want to stick my thing with some other brother done stuck his thing. That's wickedness.
Got a
all
whole bunch of dinglings, and you got like 80 over 500.
Come on, man. You a bottom feeder. You know what I mean? What happened to being the salt of the earth, right? The cream of the crop. What happened to being that? What happened to being the above all other nations?
Once your virginity is broken like that, unless it's the man that you're going to marry, you're damaged good. You're already damaged good. That's it. Once that virginity, when you break your virginity with a man, that man that you broke your virginity with is supposed to be your husband for life.
No, trying to sign.
Our people they keep going after and after because lust and lasciviousness have taken over the minds of our people.
Then these brothers think it's okay to go marry a single mother on top of that. Don't even think about that aspect of the situation, right? And then on top of it, you want to go and try to marry or lay down with a single mother. She has nothing new for you, brother.
Nope, nothing new.
Not a damn thing new for you. Everything has been used by another man. She's given her best to another man. You come in playing second fiddle, trying to take care of somebody else's child when you have a man that's constantly in your life. This is not, you do not worship the god of the goddess Diana. Talks about sexual immorality and all this. Yeah, and you can have many partners and all this other wickedness. You're not over here in the Old Testament. We're fighting against unclean spirits about some dead goddess that does not live named Asherah.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just wickedness, Israel. Right? When you men, even if you men are raised up by single mothers, right? Y'all got to learn, right? Y'all have to learn what is good to take and what is not. That way, it may not be in your generation. We might have it. But guess what? If you continue to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments and obey the order that the Most High has set forth, right? Brothers, y'all got to understand that this will set the nation right. Right, the more we cry and sigh and we beg and we plead to the Most High, it's going to be more of our people starting to get right. Right, more sisters repenting, more brothers repenting, right, and more families being brought together. That's what's going to happen once we start keeping the commandments. Right, these sisters only do for that because you brothers let it happen. That's the only way. Right, if a single mom knew for a fact that there was no other man for her but her baby daddy, right? You think they'll be so quick to open up their legs for Pookie and Ray Ray? No, that would not happen. It's because you niggas is willing to lay down with 189-pound women on average, overweight women that have been with other dudes, so forth and so on. Is because you continuously are okay with laying down with these women. These women are going to continue to be wicked as hell. Well, guess what? It don't matter if I got 10, 20, 30, 40 bodies. I'm gonna find somebody that'll still sleep with me. Brothers, you weak.
Yep.
You weak. You noodle back. Meatball knees. You can't stand on your two.
We're gonna bring that out when we do the coons of the coons. We're gonna bring that stuff out. But Israel,
man, I done ran it on for the night. Man,
we can sit here and beat this dead horse all night. Look, we're gonna go back. We're gonna let y'all go. Enjoy the Shabbat. We're gonna get back to meditating on his word. And I just saw something here. Oh, okay. Yeah, Ace, I'm not sure if you're talking about work, like the physical work you got to go to.
I hope not.
Since right now you should be doing all you can to make sure you find a job that is going to allow you to be off on the Shabbat. So that we don't have to. This is the thing that we want to get to. We want to be able to honor and obey all the Most High's laws, commandments, and statutes. So, we'll be praying for you as well too. So, That's why, and this is another reason why our people, if our people wouldn't have went off on the mark, we wouldn't have to worry about this kind of stuff. All right. Yep, it's gonna ride out. It's gonna ride itself out.
Yeah, not all of us are gonna be destroyed.
No,
but the ones that are destined not to obey, they got to get destroyed.
And it's gonna increase more and more. But all right, Israel, look, we're gonna bid y'all a Shabbat Shalom.
Hold up now. Before we go, I just want to say two things. One, I love my brothers that keep the commandments, and I love my sisters that keep the commandments. Right? All praises to the Most High for y'all, because without y'all, right, we'll never be able to make this movement go forward. Right? We can never get our people where we need them to be to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? We need y'all. We need all the people that we can get, brothers and sisters on both sides, to continue to carry on the message of the scriptures. It's not the message of what Brother Daniel and I say, right? This is the message of the Most High, so that our people can start healing. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to put these heathen in subjection. I'm ready to see the Most High come back and they kill up all these heathen that's been killing us.
But as long as our people keep being in subjection to them, it's not going to happen. And Most High's going to let the wheels. Most High's going to let the wheels ride till the wheels fall off. All right. So Israel, for those of you who are, keeping the laws with all your heart, mind, and soul, continue to do so. Encourage others to do so. And until then, by the grace of the Most High, see you next week.
Shalom. Stay strong.
Shabbat Shalom. Stay strong.